The head of the VFW firing back at something the president said at a recent rally.
Tales about welfare queens, talking about takers, talking about the 47%. It's the story that is broadcast every day on some cable news stations. On right-wing radio, it's pumped into cars and bars and VFW halls all across America and right here in Elkhart. And if you're hearing that story all the time, you start believing it. It's no wonder people think big government is the problem.
Well, that has prompted this response from the VFW's national commander. Quote, "We don't have confused politics. We don't need left or right-wing media filters telling us how to think or vote. And we don't need any president of the United States lecturing us about how we are individually affected by the economy." To former Army officer Michael Pregent on this firestorm that's being created here. So we're not used to that kind of fairly strong criticism of the President of the United States.
No, thanks for having me. It's surprising that the Commander-in-Chief on the heels of Memorial Day would use such a blanket statement to talk about veterans. Every veteran of this ISIS strategy, the Iraq War, and the Afghan War are eligible to join the Veterans of Foreign Wars. And we didn't get suckered into joining the military. It seems a little bit elitist. It seems as though the president believes a lot of veterans were suckered into joining the military and fighting in so-called unjust wars. And now, because of that, they somehow can be misled by news reports that counter what the president's doing.
That's what he's saying, Michael. He's essentially saying that propaganda is, that's the wrong word to use perhaps, but misinformation, shall we put it like that, is being piped into VFW halls where you all sit around and listen. Is that true?
Well, it's not very. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, we don't sit around and just listen for somebody to tell us how to think. We've got to remember this is an all-volunteer force. Every veteran, especially those that volunteered after 9/11, volunteered knowing they were going into harm's way. These are calculated decisions by great Americans to join the military and to join the Veterans of Foreign Wars. And to have a Commander-in-Chief just issue a blanket statement that we just sit around and drink beer in VFW halls and listen to Rush Limbaugh and other right-wing programs and watch Fox News, and that's where we get our politics from. It's insulting.
How would
and a Commander-in-Chief should know better.
I've been in America for 40 years, and I've seen the morale of veterans and their treatment swing with the times. I mean, back when they weren't treated very well. Now, I think, veterans are treated well, generally speaking. You're held in high regard by most people. What's morale like amongst veterans in this administration?
Veterans are strong enough to kind of shake off what the administration's doing. Our morale is not dependent on what this administration's doing. The morale is dependent on how we interact with each other and how we take care of each other. Of course, we do like when we hear the administration looking at the VA and other things, but more importantly, we also want Commander-in-Chief and candidates to be Commander-in-Chief to know what they're doing when they actually put future veterans in harm's way when it comes to ISIS and other things like that. So we're concerned about policy. We are concerned about fixing the VA, but we're also strong enough to be able to shake off criticism and not let it get to us too much. Okay. It's right for the VFW commander to put the president, to check the president, but we can easily shake this off.
Okay.